All right, guys. This is going to be a trade recap for the trade that I took this morning, 10 a.m. And then I'm also going to break down the 2 p.m. Po3. So two potential setups that showed up today. I'm up around 2.3K across 5 accounts. You guys see on the top left the balance 474 across each account. That's 5 accounts. So let's get started top to bottom, right? So I started where I got my bias was from the weekly, right? Now, this was a little difficult for me to navigate, and I'm going to explain to you guys. I'm going to try to get you guys in my brain as I went through today. So, coming into this week, I was very, very bullish. I put out a free weekly outlook in my Discord, and I was talking about how this weekly gap here is going to be the draw, right? So, that weekly gap was the draw, and I wanted price to draw into there as a draw on liquidity for this week. So this level, the 21,327-ish, which is the level from right here, right? This was basically going to be the draw, 327, whatever that might be. And I wanted us to push into this gap and then get a rejection from here, right? High of the week and then go lower. However, we opened up this week with no manipulation to the downside. You guys know mechanics of any candle, generally you want to see the manipulation to the downside, obviously, before there's a move made to the upside. In this case, we don't have one. So I'm viewing this as a bearish look, right? So I was bullish and bearish at the same time, if this is making sense, right? I was bullish because we have the weekly draw, but I was bearish because this weekly candle does need to go back down, and it is only Tuesday, so it's still possible, right? So that's where my higher time frame analysis is coming from. Now, today was CPI, right? Whenever we have CPI, it's pretty simple. The way that you want to trade is you want to use CPI highs and lows, the data highs and lows. So over here we have the data high, and over here we have data low, right? So what I'm looking at is how do we react to these, and which one do we reach into first? Now, over here, we swept this data high first, right? Right around here, we swept the data high. And then what we did was, instead of sweeping and then coming down like we normally would expect, it swept and then started creating a lot of structure over here, right? You guys can see we have a lot of candles closing above that CPI high. So this is starting to look like a pretty bullish move, right? We're respecting bullish order flow pretty well, right? There is a bullish 1 minute gap right here that got respected super, super nicely. So naturally, based off of this, I'm expecting now a move higher the upside. Okay. So, the way that I usually trade, obviously, intraday, I'm looking for 15-minute or 1 hour fair value gaps. Now, hourly was kind of out of the question just because of the move that we made. So, I'm looking for 15-minute fair value gaps, right? Now, if we look at this right here, right, I want you guys to look at this. This is the 10 a.m. or sorry, this is the 10 a.m. candle, right? So 10 a.m. candle opens up. Do we manipulate into a fair value gap of any sort? This is the fair value gap, right? Right underneath, this is 10 a.m. right here. This is the fair value gap directly underneath 10 a.m. Okay, so I would have had to see a move here and then a move out of there. However, we did not get that, right? It opens up and immediately just pushes higher. This is showing me a lot of strength now. Okay. In this push higher, we create three different fair value gaps. We create one here, we create one here, and we create another one here. Okay. Now, because of the nature of this move, I'm not really expecting price to come back lower into this gap, right? It's a little unreasonable for us to think, for me to think that we're going to go all the way back down and then all the way back up, right? So this is out of the question. This gap right here, completely gone. I don't even consider that anymore. Okay. This gap is going to be one that I watch, and this gap is going to be one that I watch. All I'm looking for is a buy model out of these. Now, what's the buy model? This is my model called the flow model, and this is what I look for right here. You guys can see it on the bottom right of my screen. And this is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a higher time frame PDRA. In this case, that's going to be the 15-minute fair value gap. I'm going to the align time frame, which for the 15 is a 1 minute. And then I'm looking for these three things as my entry trigger: the liquidity sweep, SMT, and change in state of delivery. This gives me an A+ setup. So inside of this gap, I'm looking for a 1 minute liquidity sweep, a 1 minute SMT, and a change in state of delivery inside of that gap. Okay, so let's drop down into the 1 minute and I will show you guys the exact trade that I took. All right, it's already annotated up here. So let's go over this. Now, as you guys can see, we create SMT with ES, right? ES is on the right-hand side, NQ is on the left. You guys will see this 10:14 a.m. low creates SMT with ES. ES creates the lower low, NQ creates a higher low, right? So there's SMT right there. We have liquidity sweep, that's checked off, and then all we're waiting for is a change in state of delivery. Change in state of delivery is going to take place right here on this candle, right? As soon as we close over this series of down closes here, we get a change in state of delivery. That happens right there. So I'm taking this trade and I'm targeting the weekly fair value gap, right? Which gives me a 2.6R effectively. So once we get that, I get in and I target this weekly fair value gap. And there you go, 2.6R complete. I ended up taking this trade a little bit short just because I was not able to monitor it. So I caught about 3/4 of the move and then I fully got out of my position. And then we went and hit my target as we normally do. Okay. So that is trade number 1, right? Everybody should understand that. Now, trade number 2, same exact setup. We're looking for, again, a higher time frame PD array, drop down to an aligned time frame, get a liquidity sweep, SMT, and change in state of delivery. Now, trade number 2 comes in at 2 p.m., right? There's 2 possible trades that you can get. One's at 10 a.m., one's at 2 p.m. If you're trading the 4-hour Po3 like me, those are the 2 4-hour candles you're going to get in the New York session, right? So this PM session, I saw this order block right here, this 11:45 a.m. candle. Okay, now we have the same thing on ES as well. But as you guys can see, we create SMT inside of said order block, right? Right here at 12:30 and the 2 p.m. low, we have a higher low on ES and a lower low on the NASDAQ. Okay, so we have SMT, we have the higher time frame PD array. We'll go down into the 1 minute. Okay. MT is right there, very clear to see. Okay, let me just mark that out. There you go. All right, and then you, all we're looking for again is going to be a liquidity sweep, SMT, change in state of delivery. So we have the SMT. Let me scroll in on yes so you can see. Okay, right there, this low, right here, to this low. There you go. There's yes. So higher low, lower low. All we're looking for now is the liquidity sweep and change in state. So liquidity sweep, the same low becomes your sweep, right? The SMT low becomes the sweep, right? And then all we're looking for is a change in state. Get the change in state right here. As soon as we close over this series of down closes, we get the change in state. So your entry is going to take place right here. Stop loss is going to go at the low where we created the SMT. And we're looking to target either the highs or 2R. Now, this trade, I wanted to showcase this as well because this was a trade that was just short of the TP. And I wanted to show you guys both wins and losses. This technically would have been a break-even trade, right? Obviously, because once it goes this close to the TP, you're not letting this come back to a loss, right? Obviously. So in this case, I would have taken break-even, but I wanted to showcase this. I didn't take this, but because this setup got triggered anyway, so it's something that I want to showcase to you guys, that not every trade is going to be a win, right? Not every system is perfect, and this is one of those cases where we have a super nice trade, really, really good setup, everything is there, yet it still does not reach into the target, right? So 1.69R to this high, and it falls just short, sweeps this high, and immediate push lower. 350 macro did try pushing this higher, but again, this would be a break-even trade here for me. Okay, so these were the 2 setups that got triggered today. And yeah, very, very happy with today, 2.3K day. And I'll see you guys in the next trade recap.